Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in and watching my channel. My name is Joviana De Jesus, and if you are new, welcome. If you're not, thank you so much for coming back. Today we are a little bit of a different zoomage, autofocus type of deal. Look, ooh, yes, autofocus, thank you. I'm trying out a new lens, trying out some new lighting here and there the next few videos, so bear with me because I want to get it perfect. Today I don't have the new lighting. Obviously I've got this hot mess going on behind me, but that's okay. Anyways, we're gonna create this look here today. It is a very classic, very simple Christmas type of look, and I am living for it. I love it. I love a nice smoky golden bronzy eye with a red lip. That is just my type of Christmas look. So I hope that you guys really do enjoy this video. Bear with me as the light is kind of coming in and out, and I'm auto-focusing and adjusting to this new camera, so bear with me. But besides all of that, this look is bomb and it came out amazing. My complexion just looks like it always does. Flawless, right? JK, kind of, not really. Anyways, so I'm gonna stop mumbling. Please, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and subscribe to my channel. That way you know when I upload more videos. I totally just had a brain fart. Anyways, let's get on to this look. All right, guys, so welcome back. We're gonna work on that very nice classic holiday look, but I do want to do it a way that it's gonna last, so that we're not worried about it sliding off, because I'm actually gonna go to a party that's outside. So we are starting off with our base, and I am using the YSL Instant Pore Refiner. I love, love, love this guy. It is so good for keeping your midsection nice and blurb out, but also matte. And I love putting that in the center of my face. It is the best. I've been using it a lot lately, and I really like it. So the next thing we're going to do is actually use our matte strobe cream. I use it in the shade Peachlite, and I just like the way that it plays off of my olive tone skin. And we're going to work that into the outer perimeter of the face. I usually place it on the high points first, like cheekbones, and then I'll pull it down a little bit, and then I'll work it into the rest of my face. I don't use too much of that because I don't want it to be super greasy and oily, but I do want a little bit of that natural sheen and reflection that comes from the strobe cream. So I'm actually mixing two different foundations today. The only reason I'm mixing them is because one's too light and one's too dark, and I really want to try this here on this channel with you guys. So this is the new Urban Decay foundation. This guy here is a lightweight, medium to full coverage foundation. It is a 24-hour wear, and then I am using tried and true Fentu Beauty foundation. I love this. I'm just way too pale, or it is way too pale for me now. So I'm going to take one pump up, and we are going to work that in together. I'm hoping that it turns into the perfect concoction. I love mixing foundations together to kind of get something that works for me. So what I'm going to do, like usual, just buff it in with a blending brush. This guy is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Complexion brush, and I'm going to work that into the skin. And that kind of turned into the perfect shade. I love that. So what I do is I work it into the skin using the brush, blend it, and then I will build it and push it into the skin with the sponge. Okay, next. Once that's done, I'm going to go into my Morphe Beauty sponge, and I'm just going to take that on the flat end here, and we're going to build it in the areas that I know I have a little more redness, a little more texture. That's usually around my mouth, chin area, and then the nose area. Okay, cool. So I've actually started doing my eyebrows very differently than I've done in the past, just because I feel like I want to go a little lighter with them lately. So what I'll do is I will use my Benefit Gimme Brow, and I use it in the shade 4. And I will lightly just go over and comb through my hair, just kind of wake everything up a little bit. Now this has pigment to it. This also has fibers that help to thicken up the brow. which is nice. Not that I need a thicker brow, but it's nice to know that there's products like that out there. Another one that I really like is the one by Anastasia, which is their, it's like their pomade gel in a similar product, but I really like that one's pigment. This one's a little more subtle. So if you're someone who's not used to doing your brows and you're not used to something, you don't want something as harsh, I would definitely recommend to start out with the Benefit. And if you're someone who's a pro and you know you like your brows a certain way, then try that Anastasia out because it's nice. So I did that, and now I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Brow Wiz. So I am going to just kind of fill in the areas that I didn't get with that brow gel. So I will just very lightly fill in the blanks, and this kind of helps me keep it a little more natural than usual because I can go in on my brows. And I love that look, but not all the time. So let's move on to the eyes. We'll like stop for a second, leave it like that, and let's move on to the eyes. So what I'm going to do is take a little more of my concealer, and I'm actually using this guy today. I know I've used it a few times. So this is the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. Jesus. And I love this guy because it's nice and creamy and thick, and I've actually tried a new technique that I want to share with you guys when it comes to this concealer, because it is a very good concealer for dry skin. It's very hydrating, it's very illuminating, it is very full coverage. And I want to just share that with you guys because I always recommend this, but I also give a disclosure with it because it is such a hydrating concealer that like it can tend to crease depending on how you apply it. And I've given you some tips already, but I've got more. I have more to say. So what I'm going to do is work that in with my finger first and just kind of blend that in all the way even into this inner corner here. Kind of pull it in and tie it into what we did with the brow so that it is all blended out. And we're actually going to go in with this guy today. So we are using the Naked Urban Decay Honey palette. So this guy is a nice palette full of warm tones. It's got some glitters, it's got some shimmers there. Look how pretty that palette is. I love that. All right, so what we're gonna do firstly is take a nice fluffy brush and we're gonna go into this flyby color, which is this guy right here. And we are going to set our concealer. I don't know what any of these colors look like, so I think this may have like a slight sheen to it, and I'm okay with that because the look that we're going for today, our holiday look, it's going to be fairly simple. So bring that all the way into the brow bone, like from the inner corner, pat that onto the lid, and I pat instead of swipe at first because I don't want to create any type of weird lines. And then you're also going to bring that all the way to the brow. All right, so once we have that on the eyes, we're going to go ahead and move on to a much fluffier brush. We're going to use this guy right here. This is the JH30 by Jaclyn Hill and Morphe. And so what we're going to do is we're going to mix into a couple of colors. Like I want this to be pretty, but I'm going to keep it simple at the same time just because, I mean, it's the holidays. Who has time to be doing this anyways, you know? So I'm going to go into Swarm and Keeper, which are these two colors right here. I'm going to take that on a fluffy brush. Always dust off the excess. And so what we're going to do is start by just going over in circular motions. Working these colors into the lid from inner to outer corner and just kind of blowing it up a little in this outer corner. All right, after we're done with those colors, we're going to go into a smaller brush. This is a JH30. This guy is nice just because it's got less of a fluff to it. It's a little more dense and smaller, and we want that in this very instance. So what I'm going to do is pick up Hive and Drip, which are these two colors right here. We're going to mix those two to build up that outer corner. Mostly picking up Drip, like I want it pretty deep. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just focus it right here in this outer corner and blend. And again, we're going to do that lifting kind of flick, creating our cat eye, but I want it to be very smoky, very sultry, building up the colors slowly as we go. Cute. And then lastly, going in with an even smaller brush. What brush do I want to use for this? Yeah, I feel like this is appropriate. So this is a BH Cosmetics brush right here. You guys can see what that looks like there. It is a fluffy pencil brush type, but I really like that. And I'm going to take Sting, which is this last brown color here, on that brush. Really going to pack that onto the brush itself and then pat it into this outer corner, very close to the lash line. Let's do golden, which is this gold here. Where are we? Right here. So you see there's like a yellow gold right next to it. We're going to do this one. And then the other two a little more orangey. This is kind of like a true gold. So I'm going to pick that up using my finger. We're going to just put that right there. Oh, that's really pretty. Applying with your finger, I feel like helps it go on better, but your eye also looks super smoky and blended out with the finger. Like, it's so pretty. And then because we started out with that flyby color, it like already has the inner corner where it should be. So that is perfect for the eyes. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and use the Urban Decay Demolition Liner in the top line, put some mascara on, and I'm using my Lancome Mr. Big Mascara, and this one's actually waterproof. And then besides those two, I'm going to use my handy dandy Eris lashes to get my eyes finished off, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so lashes are on. So let's do contouring. For that, I'm going to use this guy right here. It is my LA Girl Pro Conceal. What I do is I squeeze out like a decent amount. I've learned to not be wasteful because this is very pigmented on the back of my hand. So I would say that's about enough. And I'm going to take that on a BH Cosmetics brush. And so what I'm going to do is work it into the brush itself. Make sure the product gets warmed up and distributed through the brush. And then we're going to take that brush and we're going to start off in the forehead first. I like to start in the forehead because usually there's a lot of product that comes out when you're first using the brush like this. And so the forehead's a pretty large area where I can easily just distribute it versus like the cheek. Wow. It's a little difficult. So we're just going to go ahead and warm up, bronze up our face with this. It's a pretty deep tone. What tone is this? I don't even tell you guys. This is Beautiful Bronze. So moving on, we're going to move on to the concealer. And again, we're going to use this guy. So I'm going to try something different with the concealer that I saw on YouTube. Harush was saying how she like doesn't blend out her concealer right away. She'll lay it down and she'll kind of let it sit and get tacky before she blends it out. And I actually did it with this concealer the other day and it worked out pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and do that again. And so I'm just going to try to stay without re-dipping. And I'm going to go into the areas where I would normally go with my concealer. So the under eyes, I'm going to try to pull it up very high on the bridge of the nose here. Like that. And then of course my forehead area and my chin. We're doing that. So I'm going to let that sit there for a second. Alright, and after that sits there, I'm going to start with the chin and around the mouth first. And we're going to just work that in using that same Beauty Sponge by Morphe. And I'm going to take that into the side of the face and clean up the cheek area too with whatever's left over. Like, don't go out of your way to add concealer. Go ahead and take that up to where the tragus is, so it can sharpen up your line. And then I even go back in with that brush we used to apply the bronzer, and I will like blend away the lines with that brush. And so what Harush was saying was that this helps the product to kind of dry a little bit, so it'll add coverage because we're just moving whatever the residue that hasn't dried yet. So it'll stay in place, it'll prevent it from lifting, and it will avoid us from having to use more product than necessary. So I'm gonna go ahead and now use the pointed end of that sponge right here, and we're gonna work that into the under eye area. And I'm gonna take that pretty high up on the bridge of the nose and then even clean up like that area right there. So for setting powder today, I'm gonna use this guy right here. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me in the Fair tone, and I'm going to use that same beauty sponge because we're going to continue pushing the product. So what I like to do is turn the sponge. This is what I use for the concealer. Turn the sponge, pick up some product, and then continue to push it into the sponge here. That's very important so we can break it up a little more. And then we're going to push it into the under eye area. If you're someone who's dry, you might want to just skip this step. Like, you don't need to push it in with the sponge. You want to set for sure, but you don't want to push it in with the sponge. You might want to just use a brush. I am not dry. I do have combination skin and I do get oily in that section. So I am pushing this in to set, to absorb a lot of the oil. And then I also want to kind of absorb a little bit of the shininess. But I love the full coverageness of this concealer. Like, this concealer is nice. Okay, great. So that is set. We're going to set the rest of the face so we can go in and do the contouring. And it's not a lot of contouring. I'm just going to use a little bit of powder contouring. I have honestly been really loving this powder. This is the NYX No Filter powder. I have it in the shade Light Beige, but this guy has honestly been a really nice powder. I got it just because I wanted to see if it was a dupe to the MAC mineral finish. Yeah, mineralized skin finish powder, and I actually like this a lot more than I do the MAC. So I'm going to take a BH Kabuki powder brush, and I'm just going to set the rest of my foundation. The NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette. Boom, we're going to take these two shades here. Right? No, these center shades right here, these guys, and we are going to just continue to set, but also carve it out a little bit. This is a lot cooler tone than what the cream contour we used is, and so I like that to just kind of hollow out the cheeks a little more. And then this area, the temple area, I will blend that in as well with a little bit of that same shade. So pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's finish off the lower lash line. And I'm actually going to take the brush that came with the palette, and I'm going to take the Hive and Drip colors with the smaller part of the brush, this guy here, and we're going to just smudge out our lower lash line. I should know better. So I'm going to take this guy, which is the Urban Decay Power Pencil in the color Beige, and I'm going to put that in the waterline. I love the way that that just kind of opens up the eyes. Like, I don't care what you have going on the rest of your face, that just opens up your eyes so much. And so I'm going to take some mascara and apply that to the lower lash line. All right, get a nice coat of that on there. Boom, boom. All right, cool. So once we've got that done, we're like literally almost done. I just need a lip and something for my face. So I'm going to keep it golden since the theme is this honey palette. I'm going to use this Makeup Forever highlight in that shade. I think it's a Pro Fusion. It's a gold one. I never know what to call this. There's only like two. There's a pinky and a gold, and we're using the gold. Duh. I'm going to take that on my Morphe 501. And we are going to apply that right there in a C shape, and then right above the arch of the brow. I'm going to put on just a little bit of blush, y'all, like a little bit of blush. I don't need it to be a crazy amount. This guy here by MAC, it is their Just a Pinch blush color. Probably has to be my favorite blush color out of all time because it is so perfect. It's like golden. All right, guys, so I'm already lined my lips. I've used the, what is this? Smashbox Always Sharper Than Liner oh, Always Sharper lip liner in the color Crimson. So it's these guys that like are self-sharpening, they twist up. I really like pencils like that. And then I'm gonna go in with this guy here. This is Lancome lipstick in 132 Caprice. And it's that shade there. It is like a true red with like a blue undertone to it, which I love. And there are so many different types of red, guys. Like you can go with whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever works for your skin tone. Okay, I can back that up now. But that's that right there. Love that color. Love, 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 love it. Okay, that's the finished look right here. So we did that with the lips, set my face with the Urban Decay, and we're done. Like it is honestly a very simple yet glamorous, very pretty, classic holiday look, which is what we were going for today. I hope that you guys like this tutorial. I will be posting one or two more, definitely two more. So I want to do like a very simple, glittery, easy New Year's Eve look. And then I also want to do a sultry, smoky New Year's Eve look because that's probably what I would do, you know, or what I am going to do. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys next time.